Three, two, one. What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
We have a comedian and a danger squad in the House of
Oh,
Craze tonight, and we're going to be talking about copyright infringement.
what's up with that?
That's what we're going to talk about. I don't know. Let's
We'll be
talk
talking
about
about all this crazy stuff. Let's get it.
it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George the Dreamer Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another
you
exciting episode of Catch the Craze. It is Tuesday, August 6th. We are live. We are live tonight, 8 p.m. We're going to be talking to a comedian. We're going to be talking to a comedian tonight. This gentleman is going to be chatting with us about, his comedy, his journey. Eric Da Silva is his name. And we're also going to be talking about the Danger Squad, a Danger Squad. Awesome. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe, hit the like button, comment, do all that fun stuff. We're going to have a fun show tonight. What up, Lou? So yeah, man, what's happening? Sammy, you had a busy weekend this weekend.
Word, man. Word.
Up. Talk to us. What happened? What happened up in Bell County?
You'll get the skinny in my vlog, but I went to Bell County Comic Con for the first time. There's a lot of pros to this event. It's very comic centric. There was like 50,000 people. It was crazy. It was the best show I've had since I've been in Texas. That was awesome. Now it could have been better. But they put us in another building, which was called Hall E, which is the first time they're using this building, which you had to leave the convention center to go outside, walk around, walk past the food truck to get to our building. So it wasn't easy to find. So we weren't as heavily trafficked as Hall A, B, and C, where they had, Kevin Eastman and they had the Ninja Turtles and the big pit with the artists and vendors and all the celebrities and all that stuff. So, we were on the outskirts. But even with that said, hey, happy birthday to you.
Whoa. That's not easy. Finish what you're saying. My goodness.
I'm in the giggles, bro. So,
yes. What the hell have you been drinking?
I'm drinking. Stop acting up, bro. Don't hit my game, bro. This is my game. Look at Bucky's, baby. Bucky's in the hand.
Finish what you're saying. Then I want to give Hugo his
this is a great
rightfully, his rightful time.
You just mad because I busted out the notes.
The notes.
Stop
no, you're gonna sing. You're gonna sing.
You're gonna sing
you're
with
gonna
me.
Sing.
You're gonna back up dance.
I want to give the man, his time.
Yes. So, we were in Hall E, which had a horse arena. Hey, the man with the skills. And we were in this horse arena, and they made it into a kids' playground, right? So they had like rock climbing, and they had slides and jousting and all this other stuff in the pit, and they had seating, like stadium seating around it. We were at the top, and there was probably maybe 50 of us of artists. I think Hall E was all first timers to the convention because everybody I talked to, this is their first time. So I think they put all of the first timers there. Where I was positioned, I had a 6-foot table. So
Oh, it wasn't 8?
no, so that was the other thing.
Oh.
So they said, on the paperwork, it says I got a 10 by 10 with an 8-foot table. I get this, all of us have 6-foot tables. Luckily, I bought my
Oh,
2-foot table. So I was able to make my table 8 feet. So it
wow.
worked out perfectly for me because I was able to, I was like, what is this? Luckily, I bought the table. I was going to leave my table at home. I'm glad I bought it.
So how was that gonna work though? Because you paid for an 8-foot table, or did you pay for a 6-foot table not
I gotta
knowing?
go back and read it. It said 10 by 10. Booth. I thought it was, I was adamant that it was an 8-foot table. So I gotta go and check.
Damn.
Um, what's up, KC?
Wow, that
And
sucks, bro. But
yeah,
that's good
so
though. At least you had that backup
yeah, so
plan.
there was this I guess these kids, they were volunteers. They were watching me connect my 2-foot table because I had um the banner that connects to the 8-foot table,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It
yeah.
connects on both ends. I
Yeah,
made
it's
everything work. I did, how we do in Puerto Rico. We take some rubber band and we take some aluminum foil. We can make anything, bro. So that's what I did. I put everything together, and it worked out nice. The table was nice. My table was facing the entrance. So when you came in, I was the first person you saw, which was also cool. But we weren't in the main pit. So even though this is the best show I've had since I've been in Texas, I know I would have had even a better show if I was in
yeah,
the main house with everybody else. So, but shout out to the people at Bell County. They run an amazing show. Their promotion is on another level. I see them on TV. I heard them on the radio. I seen them on social media. Um, and they walked around, gave us water. They provided free Wi-Fi. Most conventions don't even provide that. They charge you for Wi-Fi. They don't even. They came over and to find out if you're okay. Did you find that any advice for them on how they can make it better? I didn't
yeah.
get that from someone. Yeah, nobody. Superhero Comic Con. They were absent. They hid from us.
Well, I was gonna ask, so was it similar to what they did in Superhero Comic Con where you had a separate building? It was the same kind of setup.
It
It
was
was
a
the same
separate
thing.
building. Yeah, this is a new building to support the growing fan base. So they had the convention center, and then they had this other building next to it. You had
Right,
to walk maybe, I don't know, 100 yards, 150 yards.
right, right.
Um, but you had to walk around the building, past the food truck,
Oh,
up a slight hill to get to us.
damn.
Yeah, it was not convenient and it's not easy to
Yeah,
find. And then the most cosplayers found us, tons of cosplayers, and then people who
yeah.
found us like, oh, is this it? Yeah, I get that a lot. It's just artists here. There's nothing. There's no celebrities. There's not
How many artists or how many people were in that one
50
building?
of us.
Oh, there was a lot of you
It
guys.
was
There were
50.
a lot of you
We took
guys.
up the whole row. The good thing is that our building had AC. I heard that Hall C did not have AC and they were sweating.
Ooh,
Um,
what?
so we had AC. We had a food court which brought people in to get food,
Right, right.
and we had we had seating for the food court. Plus, the bathroom was right in front of me. So I was like, all right, I'm good. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
What's up, Dan?
What up, Dan?
Creators
Oh,
Outlet.
what's up, Will? How you doing, my man?
What's up? Yeah. So no, but
Wow,
I mean, they were great. The promoters were
that's good though.
attentive. They came and welcomed us personally. They shared all of my posts
Yeah,
on their to their fan base. I mean, they went above and beyond. And as big as they are, you know what I'm saying? But they are so good with the social media marketing and the fact that they took the time to go and connect with everybody. That's on the whole another level. It
yeah,
was
yeah.
amazing. It was amazing. But no, yeah, I had a great time. It was but Sunday, because I was by myself and it was constant streaming of cosplayers and people dressed up that walking back and forth. I didn't want to leave my booth. So somehow, that's the power of the human body. I was able to maintain composure, even though I had 2 iced teas. I didn't go to the bathroom once until they announced, 9 hours later that it was closed. Then I went, "Pshing," right? I was like, yo, I was like, arriba, andale. I was like, yeah, we're
What,
gonna go.
what were the show hours? It was the
It
same
was
on
10
both
to
days.
6, 10 to 6
Okay,
both days.
okay, but it was a 3 day show, right? Was it 3 days?
2 day show.
It was two.
2 day show. I did,
Oh,
I did,
okay.
I did Warren those 2 days, and I did all 4 days of Superhero Comic Con.
You don't need like some conventions don't need 4 days, bro.
No,
Like
Superhero
that
Comic Con doesn't need any
that doesn't
days.
need 4 days. I mean, 2 days,
Shut it down.
2 days.
Shut it down.
You don't need it, bro. You don't need it, dude. Like you really don't. You really
Nah. But it was good. The drive, I got home at 11:30 at night. Driving back home. I had to stop at Buc-ee's and I got me this. Bang.
you got a little
I had to
cup.
get me a little gift, bro. I was like, I had a good event. I'm tired. I got home 11:30 at night. I had to unload the car, put everything away, and then get up at 5 in the morning to go to work.
Hit it with a bat.
Yeah. It was. I was like, Lord, the body is a unique specimen because somehow I was able to, even though I knew I had to go, I never left my table because I was like, I got stuff here. I don't want, 5-finger discount. I come back and where'd my table go? Next, it's in the back of a pickup truck. So I was like, nah.
Listen, it was going to take a long time to take your table, bro. You got way too. Nobody's
it took me an hour and a half to take it down and pack everything, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody's leaving in the time you go into the bathroom. What
And
about your neighbors, though?
And you know what's even worse? What you said that was a warehouse. You know what's even worse is that we're closed. Everybody's packing up. I go to the bathroom. That's when the housekeepers, the ladies, they come in housekeeping. I was like, now of all time? I was like,
in your room?
You had this whole time. I said, can you go to the other one? I was like, good Lord.
Oh, man.
It was great. It was
good times. So you'll do it next year. You'll go back.
I'm definitely going back next year. That's definitely on my list.
That's
I am campaigning to go into Whole C. I was like, yo, bro, you gotta hook a brother up.
No AC hole?
I don't care. It was packed. Everybody that was talking about Whole C, they said it was just like it was packed. It was extravaganza. And then it was just like a party atmosphere. I gotta be in the mosh pit, bro. I don't care if I sweat. I'm gonna be in the mosh pit. Hey, yo, if I could hold my bladder for 10 hours, I can go and hang out in the mosh pit and sweat a little bit.
Nah, that, bro. that Texas heat is no joke, bro. I could not. Nah, I wouldn't be able to function in those situations. Nah, hell no, man. Heat, you crazy. Give me that AC, bro. That's probably why people were going to see you guys, because they were trying to get out of that.
Yeah, we had air.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably why people were going there.
Without air. I was like, we were chilling. I didn't know. It was just Whole C, because Whole A and B had AC. It was Whole C where they were sweating. That's where all the artists and vendors were. So I was like, all right.
So real quick, tell them what your next show is, because we have a lot to talk about.
I got a lot of shows. I got 3 shows coming up. I don't know the order. Let me see if I have the promo. I have this coming up, the Denton Comic Art Exposition. That's September. So that's September. I have comic what is it? Cowtown Comic Con. And I also have College Station Comic Con. So September and October, I got 3 more events coming up. 2 are local. 1 I have to travel. I'll be staying overnight in. And so that's what's coming up. And for those shows, I got a horror special coming as far as stickers and prints. It's going to be all horror decked out. So Duty, you got some stuff like Duty as Jason, and it's going to be cool stuff. So for that event, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And you got a show coming up this weekend.
Dude, I got Wicked Comic Con happening this weekend in Boston. So if you guys are in the Boston area, check it out. Wicked Comic Con. It's over by the seaport, so it's a nice location. I'm a little nervous though with what you were talking about, because this is also divided into different sections. So I'm in the Galleria. I'm in the Galleria table 46. And but there's other it's set up a little different. So they gave us like 4 different floor plans, and I'm in the gallery. I'm there with Hector Rodriguez, with Keith Gleason, and Keith Murphy. So there's going to be a few guys there. So make sure you check it out. It's going to be a good time. If you haven't bought tickets, go to the website wickedcomiccon.com, and when you check out, type in "Get Your Meds." One word, "Get Your Meds" with a Z, and you get 10% discount. Just type in that as your discount code. And then in September, I'm going to be in Baltimore for Baltimore Comic Con. October, I'm actually going to do 2 things in October. In October, here in Yonkers, if you guys are local to Yonkers, here in New York, the library is doing a convention. It's a free convention for local artists. So October 5th, I'll be there. And then later on in the month, I think it's October 17th, I will be at New York Comic Con with my man Johnny C. We're going to be there.
Nice.
And then that's it. I'll see what I'm doing in November, December, because I've been doing one show, even if I'm going just to hang out. Oh, I'm actually going to be at Terrific Con too, just hanging out.
Terrific.
Terrific Con. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And a lot of people are going to be there. Johnny C is going to be there. Philip Russell, Philbo Publishing is going to be there. Tons of people. Johnny's coming with me. So it's going to be a good time. It's
Dude.
gonna be a good time.
Dude, remember when we were at Superhero Comic Con and they were promoting Space Con?
Mm-hmm.
The same people who do superhero run that. I was like,
Yeah.
deuces, you can
Yeah.
have it. Nope,
Yeah,
you can have it. I said, I gotta find out everything that you guys promote because I don't want to be part of it. I said,
Yeah. No, man, that's
Like,
rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
But all right, before we get to our topic, we have a special, not our guest tonight, but a special someone in the audience who's celebrating a birthday tonight.
Wow.
That's right. That's right. Our man Hugo Dial
So start.
is celebrating a birthday today. So go ahead, Sam.
Oh,
Hit
you
him.
start, bro.
No.
I started it. You shut me down. No.
You're the man with the voice. You're the
No,
man with the
no.
you're the man with the voice.
No.
I sound. You ever seen The Little Mermaid?
No.
Yes, you have. Stop.
No.
Yes, you have. You watch Alf.
Huh?
You've watched The Little
What does
Mermaid.
Alf have to do with a mermaid? He's an alien from space. The mermaid's in water.
So you've seen it. You know what I'm talking about.
It's a mermaid. I know it's in water.
So The Little Mermaid had a bird that used to that sang in the background. That's what I sound like.
Tweedledee.
There you go, Sam. Sing
So
it.
you gonna dance? You gonna dance when I sing?
Say Hugo happy birthday, bro. That sounds like duty. I don't even know what duty sounds like.
It's like, come on, snap for me, bro.
So I got it. Ready?
Go on. What is that? So
There we go.
this is for you, Hugo. Only do it for the people in the family.
Okay,
Happy
here we go.
birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Hugo Dolly.
Wow.
Happy birthday to you.
That's what I'm
And
talking
many more.
There you go. You go. See, we needed this moment, bro. We needed this moment.
From this moment.
Oh man, no, big shout out to Hugo, man. He's been a big supporter of the show. Thank you so much, my
Big
friend.
shot. Oh man, I gotta freaking all right. I gotta find this. What's it? He said happy birthday. Yes. End of Zed, bro.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I where did I put it? I gotta find it.
My man.
It's on my photos. Hold on. I gotta put it up on the screen.
He killed it, bro. When he sent me that thing, big shout out to Enders that George has the rhythm of yeah, you're like I ain't do the overbite.
No, Hugo, George is holding out, bro.
What are you talking about?
George is holding out. I'm just letting you know because George is an animal on the dance floor. He was holding out. So I'm just saying he owes you some dance moves. I'm just saying.
It's hard. I'm not a seat dancer. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get up.
You should have got up.
Like no, yeah. I'm not wearing pants. What are you talking about?
Ants in my pants.
So and that was Will. All right. So yeah, no, End of Zed. So End of Zed. If you guys need to go to his website, you need to check out the book that he's coming out with. Hopefully it comes out in the fall. He sends me a message over the weekend, said, George, I send you something. And he did. And I'm gonna show you. Do you have yours, Sam? I'm just gonna pull up what he sent me. So he did this.
I'll find it. Yeah.
He did
up
this.
yours. I'm gonna put you up on the big screen. Hold on.
Look at that. Look at that. That's End of Zed right there, man. Dope. And then Sam, he said, Sam, I got yours too, Sam, if you need help.
I do, because my thing's not even showing me. Oh, there they are. There they are.
You got it?
Got them. Hold on. I'll open it up.
Yeah, he killed it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, End of Zed. Dude, look at this.
Check that.
Bang.
Bang.
Didn't.
Oh, I didn't even notice the finger, bro.
Yo, I'm your idol, your highest title, numero uno.
Look at the Adidas, bro.
It's like my Adidas. Walk through closet doors. Yo, it's crazy.
So thank you. Yo, you are the man right now.
Yo, you got skills. Crazy skills.
Nasty. So yeah, so big shout out to him. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna find an old school image that I did of Duty. I don't know if you remember. Remember when I did it with Adidas, right?
With the gear. It looked very similar to that.
Yes. I was like,
he's laying down,
man.
he's sleeping.
I'm laying down. Yeah, he's sleeping and he's looking up at the stars. Yes. I was like, oh, damn, we're in sync.
Yeah, dude, that was sick, bro. That was sick. But yeah,
Yes.
no, check out End of Zed. Check out the website. Check out his book that's coming out. It's going to be dope. By the way, Ed, Hugo, today's your birthday. At least I can do. Nah, man. Yo, today, yesterday was it? I stopped by the local comic book shop, and the gentleman behind the counter, Steve. Big shout out to to Collector Cave. He actually has End of Zed's, just a little like almost like a little. Thanks so much. Did you miss the song, Hugo? Um,
Yeah,
he's
you have it.
got what you left behind the counter for people to go check out the QR code to your comic. So he's hooking you up, Ed. Steve's a good guy over there. Collect the Cake. Big shout out to him here in
I
Yonkers.
think
Anyway,
Hugo walked away when I belt out those
oh,
tunes.
he missed
What?
it. He must have
Yo,
missed it.
you're gonna have to get it
Must have
on
missed it.
replay, homie.
Must have missed it, bro. He missed with
But
no rhythm
yes,
having snapping, and he missed your
yes,
singing. That's
yes. You
terrible.
missed the fact that George didn't get up and dance. But anyway, I think it's
I
time to
didn't
get our
get up.
meds.
Yeah, do what you got to
Let's
do.
get it.
It's time for your medicine.
Is copyright infringement worth the risk? Whoa.
Let's talk
So
about this risks.
let's talk
What
about
risk are we
this.
talking about? What risk
So
are we talking
it-
about?
Anime Expo is a big event, right?
Yeah.
Brings in huge. I mean, it's like I think it's bigger than San Diego Comic Con. It's
Mhm.
massive, right? Right everywhere as possible, right? So I was watching this vlog of this artist, and she was talking about how was it the Crunchyroll?
Mhm. Yeah,
They were going around giving copyright strikes to people who were basically selling prints of their characters that were unlicensed. And so they were going around, and the convention promoters was going around doing the same thing. And some people, it was like their second or third strike, whatever, were asked to pack it up. But
really.
but the others, if it was their first time, they got their warning. But yeah, so
Mm.
because they were just basically drawing the character,
Yeah,
and selling the prints. So is it worth the risk? Is it worth
right,
paying for your hotel, your airfare, your trip to go to a convention with the risk of being booted?
right.
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it, dude? I mean, to me, it isn't. But I know that a lot of people do. A lot of people do it. I remember we went to Superhero Comic Con.
It was
There
everywhere.
were there were people bootlegging some other person's
Yeah.
stuff. Like literally, say somebody drew a print of Flash or whatever. That print of the Flash was being sold at another table by somebody else. So they were
Yeah.
bootlegging the bootleggers bootleg stuff.
Yes.
It was and there's nothing that person can do.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that person can do because they don't
Oh,
own
you
the
can.
rights.
You take them to the alley, Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
say
yeah,
it.
yeah. And they get arrested in Texas. Not a good, not a
Hey,
good
hey,
feeling.
yo, nobody
But
knows.
that's crazy, bro. So they're not just giving them copyright strike. They're
Yeah.
they're actually removing them from the convention.
So yeah, there's
Mother-
Anime Expo has a lot of restrictions, right? Height variance, you can't go higher than I think it's like 6 feet over your table. You can't have things on the side that face your competitor, your neighbor. There's like all these rules, right? But one of the things that they also say is you cannot sell unlicensed product.
Mm.
And it's mainly in the vendor room, but now they're starting to encroach into artist alley.
Yeah, I'm reading that too. Breakdancing is an Olympic sport this year. Just saying, bro.
What's up, Gilly?
Gilbert, what up? Oh, he's always been weary, but took my chances on last con with a sign. Compare my character with Iron Man, Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. So that's interesting, right? So I remember when we were doing shows with the guys at Mass Media Studios, we called it contraband, right? Like we would bring in, like Jonathan would have prints of like characters and stuff like that, and we'd sell that at the show, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you should draw that, Lou. That's a dope robot.
Yes.
So, but here's the thing, right? To me as a writer, like if I'm a writer, I'm going to the show. It makes no sense for me to sell a Superman print at my table because I'm not the artist drawing that Superman print, right? Now, if the artist that I'm using for my book draws a print of that, maybe I can use that and say, hey, the artist who drew this Superman print that you love also drew my book, and you can buy my book, right? But that's still a risk because they can come around and say, hey, are you a licensed artist for Superman? Nope. Okay, get it out of here. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But when it comes to artists, and this is where the risk comes for the artist, like for you, for example, you as an artist, Sam, like you're not going to draw something like that to possibly get kicked out, even if you are the artist who's going to draw your own book.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, it's a big risk. Casey, I don't know if like the conventions that you're going to, I haven't heard of anything like that. Like Wicked hasn't made any announcements about licensed material, having it, you have to have a license for
it's the
it.
bigger
So
events.
I don't know.
And because Anime Expo is such a huge event, they get a lot of sponsorships, right? So they don't want to lose their sponsors, so they support it.
But I wonder if they do it like if they did it at say for example San Diego Comic Con. I wonder if they did
Well,
it there.
I heard stories about San Diego Comic Con going around and shutting people down. That there
Oh
was,
yeah,
yeah, there were stories. Well, if I watch a lot of vlogs on YouTube,
yeah,
so
yeah.
people share a lot of these stories. But yeah, there was a story where I don't know if it was last year.
Mm.
There was a guy blatant, right? And just everything was just, and what he was doing, it wasn't his art. He was selling existing artist prints. So they went and shut him down, packed.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, yeah. I remember one year at New York Comic Con, there was I think I've told the story before. There was a gentleman who was selling like 3D prints, but they were unlicensed 3D prints, and I think he was told to take those things down, and basically he was not allowed to sell it anymore. But he was making mad money, bro, like
yeah,
hand over fist money. Like
yeah,
everybody who came by just wanted a print because these were like really cool 3D prints and stuff like that. This was before, like they were novelty, and so people
right.
were buying them, and that's when they get you. When they notice that you're making way too much money,
Yeah,
that's when they're like, all right, bro, you got to stop that right now.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, with you, like it works. I mean, what was that? Somebody came up to your table.
Yeah, I got it. I had it at I had it two. One at the Texas Latino Comic Con. A teacher, an educator, came up to me and she says, she bought like a bunch of stickers and prints, and she says, I want to take it to my class. She goes, because I need to show them the difference between parody and copyright infringement. And she goes, what you're doing is safe because it's parody. It's your character basically dressing up as another character. She goes, but um, and which is why it works. And
Yeah.
but they don't know the difference, so I'm going to use that to teach my class the difference between the two. And then I was at this convention, and the guy he's looking, and he goes, "Hey, is what you're doing legal?" I was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I don't understand your question." He goes, "You're drawing Batman." I said, "No, I'm not. I'm drawing Duty, dressed as Batman." He's like, "Oh." I said, "See,
Yeah,
it's my character. He's the
that's the
ultimate
difference.
cosplayer."
Yeah.
I said, "Look around. Look at how many people are dressed up as Batman and Superman." And he's like, "Oh." I said, "You get it?" I said, "So," I
Yeah.
said that it's basically just a play.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh, I get it now." I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah. No.
but it's that clarification, right? Some people don't understand
Yeah.
the difference."
Yeah. And Zed said, have you guys caught any AI artwork at the shows yet? I'm curious if it is allowed.
Yeah, there are tables that
Yeah.
people, you can tell it's AI
You can tell.
work. You can
Yeah, you
tell.
can tell. Yeah, it's not. It
Yeah.
doesn't say it, but you can definitely tell. Yeah, you can definitely tell that it's AI art. I think there was a situation in what was it? San Martino's usually on here, but there was a gentleman sitting next to him at Baltimore Comic Con last year that clearly was selling AI art,
Yeah.
and people were buying it like
They
crazy.
scoop it up because they don't know the difference.
Yeah,
See,
they don't.
if you're not an artist, right, or an art enthusiast, you won't be able to tell the difference. You just love the fact that it's my favorite character,
Correct.
right? I mean, AI is really also doing. I mean, they're taking celebrities, and you think it's the celebrity, right? And you've seen all this crazy stuff, right? So what computers are able to do today? I mean, unless
Voices,
unless
the
you
way they
know,
look,
hey, an
everything.
artist, I can tell. You can tell because the great thing is that I have a lot of art books by concept artists, right? And concept artists, they do some amazing work, right? Some beautiful landscapes and all these big scenes and beautiful. But when you see AI, you can see how flawed the computer is
Well, yeah. I mean,
because they'll have six
Hugo just
fingers.
yeah, Hugo just made that
Oh,
comment about
did
that.
he?
Yeah, yeah. It's true. Like they'll have you see it in the
Yeah,
hand,
there you go.
you
Yeah,
see it in the hands. Yeah, you
yes,
see
yeah,
it in
you
the
can see the eye. There's a distortion in the eye. There's always some imperfection
yeah,
that the AI somehow misses when it's with generating that image.
yeah.
But unless you know what to look for, you won't pick it up. You know,
Yeah. And AI art can't be copyrighted. Like you can't copyright AI art, so
no,
it doesn't really
no,
matter. But
because you didn't create it.
right, yeah.
The
Well,
computer did.
yeah, and who created it, right? And
All you
the
did was
computers
ask the computer to do you a favor. Yo, do
and
me
the
a solid, draw
computer
this
and
for me.
the computer's just grabbing images from a whole bunch of things,
It's
and
taking
the internet
existing
is
images.
scrubbing it all together and putting it
Yes,
all together for you.
because
So,
if you look at the code
mhm.
behind how it generated the image, you can see where it pulled it from. It'll say Batman, Superman, whatever, but wherever it pulled it from, it'll tell you all the sources it pulled from,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And most people don't even know how to look at the code, but that's the reality of it. So what happens is that's why the World Wide Web is so important to the tech companies, because the moment you upload something, now it's in their eyes, it's free game. So their algorithms can go and manipulate your stuff and do whatever it wants. That's why you have to opt out on all of those social media platforms, but they make it difficult to find out the option to opt out. Like
right.
Instagram makes it really difficult to find the section to opt out. You have to go through crap after crap to find it, and all these pages and links. And I was like, they don't make it easy. They do it on purpose, intentionally, because they want to use the likenesses and all the images that you uploaded.
That's crazy, bro. It's a crazy world we live in.
It's a crazy world we live in. Yeah, but that's again, if you're out there, you're at risk. All right. Beware. They're coming for you. They're gunning for you. Start creating your own stuff, man. Stop being lazy. And so I was just saying, just putting it out there. But but be mindful, they're coming for you. So technically a person can buy an AI piece at a show, copy it, and sell it with no issues. Yeah, man.
Yeah, technically. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because the person selling it doesn't own it.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Crazy. Give me that. It's like, that's crazy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what was happening at the show in San Antonio. There was a gentleman who had created a piece. It was an unlicensed. He didn't have a license to a character, and they just took his artwork from the internet. Somebody printed it out and was selling it at their table, and he was making money off of the other person's art, and he couldn't do anything about it because it's not his. It's his artwork, but it's not his character. So what
he's like, hey, stop! I'm gonna call the. Well, I can't call anybody.
I can't do anything.
Like, oh, damn.
Can't do anything. But like you said, take him out in the back.
Take him out the back, yo. I was like, yo, Bobby, Joey, I need a salad. You see that guy over there? You know what to do.
Oh, man.
Free beers on me.
Or a pack of beers. Nice.
That's it, man. Handle your business. Nice. But yes, so we have our guest waiting. He's anxiously chomping at the bits, ready to engage with our audience. But before we do that, I want to remind everybody, I do have an art channel. So check out my art channel if you haven't done so already. Here's the promo, and then we'll come back with Eric Da Silva, and we are talking some stuff. What's up?
What's going on?
Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Eric? How you doing, buddy?
Great, Sam, George. Thanks for having me on. I've been hearing you guys talk about everything that's going on with the con and AI art and everything, and it sucks where basically people are just making money off bad imitations of things that exist already. It's like watching a cover band and thinking like these guys might be better than the real thing. No, they're not. They suck.
They suck. Absolutely.
They're not, man. They're not. But Eric, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Listen, you are our first comedian.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic. No pressure.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I grew up in Queens. I don't sweat nothing.
I love. Oh, there you go. What part of Queens?
Oh, Ridgewood.
Ridgewood, nice. I lived in Ridgewood. I lived in Richmond Hill.
The whole thing. Yeah,
there you go. Awesome.
Nice. And you've made your way down to Atlanta.
Yeah. Right? Well, it was New York, Miami, Florida. New York, Atlanta. So back twice. I had to go back a second time. Comedy, but then in Atlanta for kids, and then this thing happened. So
awesome, dude. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Queen's in the house.
I was I was on your website, man. I saw some of your clips, or your comedy clips, man. You're hilarious, dude. You're
Thanks,
hilarious.
man. Appreciate it.
When did the comedy bug bite you, bro? Like, how did that happen?
All right. How what's my adult language level on this? Where
Sounds ready to put the mature audience.
I got the
thing
mature
ready to
audience.
rock.
There it is.
which is weird because my book is like a kid's book, but my comedy is not. So that's why I just want to make sure where our level is. Is it PG-13, PG-16, or just like fuck it, we're drinking? So I don't know what the level is. I'm just trying to figure out.
You just rated it. There
Oh,
it is.
perfect. No, I've always been sort of the funny kid in class. And one time I had gotten kicked out of class in high school for like the 1 millionth time. And the girl I was dating, she's like, if you're going to be an asshole, you should figure out a way to make money off of it. And I was like, okay, that works. That's something I could try to do.
That's awesome.
So I went to, I signed up for an open mic and did my set. And when I was walking off I was 17. So first time doing it, I get off and this adult man at the time, for me, probably my age now, but at the time I was like an adult man, grabs me by the shirt and pushes me against the wall. It's like, oh shit, I'm getting in a fight right now. This is crazy. And he's like, there's no way this is your first time. I go, I swear to God. I was almost crying because I'm a punk kid. I'm like, I swear. And he goes, stick with it. You got something. And it turned out that guy was the headliner of the show. He just didn't believe that it was my first time because you were so polished. It didn't make sense. And I'm just because I'm a huge comedy nerd, just like a comic book nerd, clearly. So yeah, I just loved watching people do stand up and like they'll figure out how to make people laugh. And I started off like as a high energy, like wacky comedian. And as time went on, I actually became more of a dark, twisted, lovable jerk. And and it's been one of those things. That's why my first album is called Adorably Offensive, because after doing a show in New York, some lady came up to me. She's like, when you first got on stage, I thought you were an a-hole. And then by the time you were done, I was like, oh, he's like adorably offensive. I was like, cool, that is a great title. So that became the album.
Nice. Did you who were your influences? Like being from New York and stuff like that? Like were some of the New York comics?
Chris Rock, massive. George Carlin, obviously. Doug Stanhope is the dark prince of stand-up comedy. If you don't know who he is, do yourself a favor. And one of his album is one of my favorite albums. It's called Something to Take the Edge Off. It's on YouTube. It's a masterpiece. Great. I know it's complicated, but I think if you separate the art from the man, Louis C.K. is fantastic too. And you know, they all sort of like helped kind of give me a better idea of how to do the thing I want to talk about, because I've done a lot of stuff to stand up. I've obviously done my own stuff, but I've written jokes for other people. I've written for jokes for TV shows and speeches and that kind of stuff, and just trying to make it funny. And being funny is cool, but that's like phase one. I like to almost bury myself in like how dark a subject is and then dig myself out of it. My buddy put it best. Watching me do an hour is like watching Heath Ledger in The Joker. In the beginning, the audience over here, and then after an hour, I brought them down to my level, and that's basically what I try to do, is like to let you know, like nothing is off bounds. Everything is funny. Just got to know how to talk about it.
Right. How long does it take you to put a set together? Like, what does that look like? Like,
it usually. I was doing new material like 1 hour every 2 years. I was developing off of that. And then, and I always kind of work backwards compatible, which is when I'm trying to work out an hour, I'll try to think of like a really disturbing joke. And then I think, how long do I have to do before the audience is okay with me telling this joke? And so it's like, okay, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I just start developing this level on that. And so I'd say normally about 2 years. Recently, because of the pandy and everything else, I've been slow rolling. I've also gone through some major adult stuff like a divorce. So it took me a while to kind of get back up and dust my shoulders off. Now I'm kind of coming out with full-fledged all the stuff I'm working on. And so this one's been developing for about 4 years.
Wow, man. Awesome, dude. That's incredible. So you go from comedian, you're writing, well, was it a children's comic book?
It's not. I think if it's like a clean PG-13 comic, where it's like I basically I came up with it during the pandemic. My kids, we had books, and when I was doing comedy full time, I would be a stay-at-home dad from Monday through like Wednesday, Monday through Thursday, and then I'll be out on the road. And when the pandemic happened, I was like, well, now I'm a dad all the time now. So went to the whole thing about homeschooling and whatnot, which is really hard homeschooling because I didn't want my kids to kind of become wimps. So I had to become like a bully so they felt normal. Like I'll smack their books out of their hand and then make them lunch because I love them. But I had to kind of give them the whole experience. And this one, when bedtime came, they're like, read us a story. So I read stories. And then after like 2 months of it, they're like, Dad, we're done with all these stories. Like, give us something new. And I was like, would you want to order something from Amazon? What do you want? And they're like, you're a comedian, make something up. I was like, oh, all right. And so at the time, because we were bored, I just introduced them to like Goonies and like season 1 of Stranger Things. And, we had just finished the full series of Gravity Falls. So I kind of picked all those themes and made this story, and they loved it. They made me tell that same story for like a week. And I was like, oh, cool. So like a comedian, I figured out the rhythm, where to go, how the jokes are, boom, 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 boom. So in day 7, I'm ready to do this. Like I'm so in the zone. And they're like, Dad, we're done with that story. Make something else. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. I can't keep generating IP like this. And they're like, no, same characters, new story. I was like, oh, okay. So then I started creating different adventures. This is where the comic book nerd in me came in. Yeah. I was like, okay, I know how to lay seeds, build to something else, the whole thing. Next thing you know, like I'm making up a story like that can happen because that happened 2 stories ago with this guy. I was like, oh man, now there's canon. Okay, so I got to start writing all this down.
Canon.
So I'm putting it out, and then when the social distancing ended and people started being able to sleepovers, their friends are sleeping over. Like, can you tell us a story your kids told us? So I'm doing like requests, and I'm doing like and figure out which one was the most popular ones. And in the course of being, and people that I know, I met this woman who was an executive producer who had won an Emmy for children's animation. So I was like, oh, and she's like, do you want to have a meeting? I heard you might know something. I was like, yeah. So I gave her a pitch. She loved it. It went all the way to the tippy top of a streaming service, which I can't mention.
Yeah.
But when it got to the top, they're like, hey, what book is this based off again? I go, it's not a book. It's an original idea. They're like, oh, no, we're just doing pre-existing IP. So it's got to be connected to an established book. I was like, dude. And it was such a gut punch. So then me and her got together and said, well, they need a book. Let's make a book.
Yeah.
And so I already had outlined the first season. So I took 3 episodes and made them into a graphic novel and got connected to this indie comic book company out of Kentucky called Kinetic Comics. And now August 26th is our launch date for our Kickstarter for Danger Squad.
That's awesome, dude. What a story, bro. Yeah. I have to say, Hugo said, did Eric just call the event from 4 years ago the Pandy?
Yeah, I call it the Pandy.
A Pandy. That's awesome. So, all right. So Danger Squad. So it's an acronym, right? DANGER. So what's the acronym? What's
it stands for Dark Anomalies, Nightmarish Schools, Exciting Rescues.
And that's the squad.
That's the squad. And so basically, this is my love letter to every scary movie, whether it's ghost, aliens, slasher guys. It is every episode, every issue is a love letter to that. So whether you liked Gremlins, whether you are into Slender Man, whether you're into like occult nonsense and eldritch horrors, this book will tackle that, and it'll take what you know about it, but give you a fun little different version. I'll be like, oh, like in the original series, and I could kind of mention this out of school. In the original series, our idea of werewolves were wolves that become human when they wear human clothes. So that's the werewolves. So it's the flip on it. So of course, happens when wolves try to integrate themselves into a public school, and that's where that's kind of adventures, that kind of stuff happens. So we're just kind of flipping the script on like what you think you know about a monster, and go, oh, actually something else like that, and then having a good time with it.
When you guys went for like the pitch meeting and all that stuff, did they ask you about like age groups or anything like that? Yeah. They wanted to know. So what is the age group? What did you tell them as far as the age
our
group?
Key demographic off the jump is 8 to 13, but our secondary demographic is 30 to 50. Basically, if you are someone who has pop culture reference knowledge and you love this type of genre, you can get as much of a kick as the kids do. And I always make it. I ran through this series to make it right. I went through many different producers and executives to get there. And the best compliment I ever got was somebody who was like, it feels like Ready Player One, but smarter, which is weird because you're doing this for kids. I'm like, that's cool. I will take that as a compliment. That's awesome. So
yeah, that's amazing, dude. I can't believe, they talk about how, oh man, there's nothing original out there anymore. There's that, and then you give them something original, and there's like, well, is it based on a book? Because we want it to be based off. Like, what? What are you talking about? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you get first dibs and it's all
right
at the very end, why would you? But that's
what it is, man.
That's what it is, man. It's everybody wants something new, but not too new. They
Right.
want something original, but let it be around for a long time. It's a weird thing, man. It's almost like a girl who says, "I want a masculine man." Who's sensitive? Like that? What? No, that's very hard to get to that part.
Oh man, damn, dude. So, all right, so you got this. It's a graphic novel. How many pages?
It's 100 pages.
100 pages.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
And one of the things we're doing to kind of show that this is not just a regular book is, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. This is something that I just kind of got stumbled into it about a year ago. We're doing a thing called an ARG, an alternate reality game. So there's a character we've created called Dr. Mystery, and he is a crypto conspiracy theorist. And he releases a podcast called the Perplexing Proof Podcast. And he's talking about different conspiracies he's come across. And then in this first episode just dropped this week. Well, one of the future episodes, I don't want to say which one, he slowly discovers a town that this book takes place in. And he's like, there's something weird about this town. So as his journey spirals out of control, it'll sync up with the launch of the Kickstarter. And if you go to dangersquad.com, he's already hacked the website. And if you figure out where the clues are, you can find his secret backdoor page that you can only access once you crack the code on the website. So we're having fun. Like if you're into mysteries and all that kind of spooky stuff, this is something where even if you don't I don't have any money to do it, just play the game, have fun with that. Take screenshots, let us know. Like that's all we're doing. This is all like we're all having fun with this.
Dude, that's incredible, man. It's funny how it started from like, just you talking and having fun with your kids and, just passing the time. Yeah. They're in the pandy, as you call it.
They're in the pandy. Yeah.
That's it, man. That's it. Holy cow. So this is happening in October. Are you touring? Are you doing any shows before that?
I'm working on a new hour right now. Okay, so this is something you can look up. You can look up right before the shutdown happened. I was teamed up with this production company. We're going to do a tape of special for me. The special was going to be called Eric Da Silva, Don't Be a Dick. Mm-hmm. And the premise was I was running for president, and my platform is Don't Be a Dick. Mm-hmm. And the whole special was going to be like I was doing a campaign rally, and every joke was like my policy on a social issue. Mm-hmm. And that was going to be the way that the special was going to go. The day we released the commercial to start to prep for the special, the shutdown happened the same day. It was the worst timing ever. So, like, who gives a crap about your upcoming special when people are like, we need more toilet paper? So it was a bad deal. So that company is still interested in doing a special with me. We're just trying to figure out what it is. But the special right now is called, right now the tentative title is called Choices. Mm-hmm. And it's basically because, so like, you guys hear the new Eminem album?
Yes.
Sam loves Eminem.
So, it's the whole thing about daring Gen Z to cancel him and how far is too far and what is it offensive and what isn't it. So I decided I wanted I did not want to get canceled. So my premise is the audience decides the tone of the joke. They get to decide between lighter, darker, and honest. And this way, whatever happens, they can't cancel me because they selected it, and we all know consent is hot. So this is very, very fine. So this way, if they want dark, I can go dark. But if they want to keep it light, we'll keep it light. And if you want to keep it honest, it's gonna get weird because honesty is always a little weird. So that's how I'm working it right now.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: growing up in New York, growing up in Queens, right? You said you're a comic book nerd. What was the comic book that you were nerding over?
Oh, dude. Okay, I'll tell you this. I became an X-Men fan because it's seared in my brain. The first X-Men comic I ever read was X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 242, right in the middle of the Inferno saga. And when you open up the first page, the very first page is just Wolverine and Jean Grey hardcore making out. I had no idea who the hell these people are, but I was like, I want to know more. And why are my pants feeling tight? I don't understand any of this, but I'm in on this. And when I opened it, Mark Silvestri art, everyone looks like they're out of like a metal video. I'm like, this is great. And I just went crazy. And then X-Men. Like X-Men was my thing for like a solid 10 years.
That is insane, man. That is funny. Holy God. Who shaped your sense of humor, bro? Was it growing up in your family? Like, is it things you watch? Like, where'd you get your sense of humor from?
I mean, listen, I'll be honest with you. Like, I used to watch stand-up comedy to kind of get away from real life because I was a fat kid. I'm 46 years old, but I was born with these facial features, which just made my face look messed up. Like, it didn't make any sense. I was constantly getting friend zoned. I was too chubby to get laid. It was just a mess. It was all a problem. So a comedy was basically a defense mechanism, a lifeline. It was a way to kind of, I used to make my bully laugh so hard he forgot to beat me up. Like that was how I kind of, so it was a survival instinct all across the board. And then from that I realized, well, if I'm willing to make fun of myself to the point that even sometimes I was laughing at jokes, making fun about me, I was like, oh, maybe everything is funny. There's no line about like, oh, I shouldn't. Like, it's all cool. So yeah. And if you know, in New York, if you're not busting chops and doing your mom jokes, like if you're not doing dozens, like then what are you doing with your life? So yeah.
Yeah. No, man. I like that it was a coping mechanism. Bro.
Oh, hell yeah.
Comedy just became that. There's
literally insane. A line in the comic book because when I was doing this team of kids, I was like, there's so many kids on bike stories. What's the one thing that I can do that's different? I was like, first of all, I've never seen an Hispanic kid in a group of kids figure out mysteries. Like they have Asian kids, they have black kids, which doesn't make sense because usually black kids are the first one going, "No, I'm out, peace." Like, nope, and they just leave, but they're in it. I'm like, that's cool. And Indian kids, I don't know why Indian kids are never there. I guess because their parents don't let them go on adventures because they got to study to be like a doctor or something. It's like, no, you don't get to go out. But Hispanic kids, who knows more about like Santeria and shit like that than an Hispanic kid? Like, there's so much like, don't mess with her, she's a bruja. Like, if we know so much that we should be involved in these adventures, and there's all these kids are super skinny. I get it, you ride a bike, but guess what? I was a kid who rode a bike, and I was fat as fuck. So I was like, so I made sure I put Asian kids, I put Hispanic kids, I made the Hispanic kid chubby. He's me by proxy, and I just wanted to kind of really show like, any kid can be in these kinds of adventures and they can be in that kind of situation like that. So I wanted to really show that Hispanics, because listen, as a Hispanic person and as a nerd, you understand our choices are very limited, very limited. Like we have Oscar Isaac, but he always plays someone else that's not Hispanic. He doesn't play a straight Hispanic guy. If you're a sci-fi nerd, okay, I don't like Star Trek. But I watched Star Trek when I found out they had a Hispanic actor, and then the Hispanic actor was played a Native American, which I was like, okay, a little iffy. But his name is Chicote, which means foot stank, and that's not a cool sci-fi name for anybody. And I was like, I need to take a stand. I need to represent just someone straight Latino. That's it. Nothing crazy. Just a little fat kid who's maybe gets skinnier when he gets older. Who knows? But right now he's chubby and he likes adventures. Here we go. And that's what I wanted to do.
What's his name? His name
is Leon Guerrero.
Okay. All right. Man,
I got to put a little warrior on him. A little warrior. Even though he is the courage of Scooby-Doo Stone. So he's usually paranoid. He's got that kind of level of confidence and courage. But I figured a chubby kid called Guerrero, like maybe he can lean on that name later on. But right now he's just learning how to figure things out. So yeah.
I was glad you didn't say Tim Scott.
No, it was not going to be that. So working with the artist that I mean, you found her. She's an Emmy award winning like animator. How that
it really was. I was doing a show. A friend of mine was in town. She was doing a show, so I did my show. Went to her show, and at the after party of that show, she's like, oh my God, Eric, this is my friend. She's an Emmy award winning producer. Don't you have that cartoon idea? I was like, yeah, kind of. It was just something I wasn't even prepared. And then she's like, I gotta go. Give me your number. We'll set up a meeting. We went for a meeting, and then one thing led to another. And she's been nothing but an amazing supporter. Her name is Genevieve, and she is just an incredible, I've asked her questions. She's giving me a lot of consulting. She's showed me how to put the show deck together. She's been nothing but amazing. And my artist is a name called, his name is Giuseppe, and his artist name is Sabe, S-A-B-E. He's in Italy, and this dude is a machine of the highest order. Like every time he puts pen to paper, well, it's digital, but you know what I mean? He's just like kills it. It just gets the shot that I need. And just, I've been very lucky to be surrounded by so many talented people to get all these dumb ideas to look good.
That's
nice.
amazing, dude. That's amazing.
Nice.
Good for you, brother. Good for
Thanks,
you.
man.
But you have obviously, do you have a landing page for the
right now we have a Kickstarter landing page. And also if you go to dangersquad.com, right when you go on the main page, there's a little thing that says support a Kickstarter. You can click on that. So if you go to dangersquad.com, but you don't want to figure out the mystery just yet, you can go to our click and take to the Kickstarter. Right now we have 43, but this is like, I'm like, listen, I know a lot of people supported me and I appreciate it, but I would love for every Latino nerd that I don't know, but feels the way I do, to please support this. Let's get Hispanics out there front and center, really representing, like we can do anything and we don't have to have a name that means a smell. We can just be cool characters. And that's what I want. That's what I want.
I like that you're incorporating other minorities as well.
Absolutely. It's a party. You can't, just one group gets boring. Like even Hispanics, it's never just one Hispanic. It's Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Argentinians, Brazilians. Absolutely. Like it's everybody. We're all in this party. And what I like about it is that every Hispanic culture is essentially trying to prove how tough or how alcoholic they are. That's all we're doing. Like, oh, we can get in a fight. Oh, I can get drunk more than you. We can dance more, and that's really what it comes down to. So it's all bragging rights. We're all having a good time. So like that's what I wanted to do in every aspect. Like let's all just be a big party about it.
That's it, man. That's it. Eric, you've been amazing, brother. Thank you so much. I'm definitely going to support the Kickstarter. It comes out, what, October 26th, you said?
Well, August 26th is the Kickstarter launch, and then the book will come out in October in time for Halloween.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, nice. There you go. Look at that.
I like it.
Beast mode. No, it's fantastic, man. You know, you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you for choosing Catch the Craze to share with the audience what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, man. Thank you so much. It's been a blast.
Wow,
you got it,
dude,
brother.
Awesome, man. We definitely got to talk again.
Hell yeah. I'll love to come back whenever you want.
You got
it. Thanks, Eric. Later, brother.
All right. So you can go to Danger Squad. The link is in the chat. You can also go to Eric Da Silva's website. The link is in the chat and also in the summary. Go and check it out. Go and check out that Kickstarter. Sign up on that landing page. I love the artwork. It has a whimsical feel to it. I love the colors and the lighting. Looks really good. I think he's got good stuff and a great sense of humor. Love the story. Really awesome.
Yeah, no, he was cool, man. He was cool. It's crazy, right? He went all the way to the top of the the streaming service people, and they're like, we want something that's been done before. Come back when it's already been done.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So remember, it was back in 2000 when I created this image. 2000, bro. There was a duty with the Adidas on.
Oh, that's what you were looking for.
It was just flats. It was just flats, right? But that was what I did it. That in 2000. I had to find it because when he saw that, I was like, wait. I said, he's in sync. We're in sync. So yeah, that was the duty image from 2000.
Sam, you gotta love you. Gotta love you, bro. Gotta love you. That had nothing to do with what we were talking about, but you were so fixated on finding it. That's what happened.
In, bro. That's how I work. Multitask. But yeah,
Eric Da Silva, thank you, my man, for coming on the program. Danger Squad, check that out. Dangersquad.com. Contribute to the Kickstarter. Yeah, but we were still talking about how, like, his incredible story of getting there and then nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I hate that stuff. But you had to show I
had to show it, bro. And where is it? Nice, the fresh style. Yeah, man. Hey, man. But yeah, we were in sync, bro. We're thinking alike. End of Zed. But yeah. So, man, lots happening. Great guests. First comedian. So we had an entrepreneur who he managed a call center. We had a puppeteer. We had musicians. We had actors, and then we just had our first comedian.
Yeah, no, he was awesome, man. He was awesome. Really, really cool dude. I'm glad that sometimes you got to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. That's
what happened with him. He was out there networking, he wasn't even trying. He was just kind of supporting one of his comedic friends, She said, "Hey, I know somebody. Don't you have a story? Link up." They did, and here they are. You know, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, but the hustle's real, right? So I think,
Yeah,
I get
big time.
the universe will reward you for your hustle, right? And
Mhm.
so he's out there grinding, and that's what happens, right? I think, and he's doing it the legitimate way, right? And think about it. It's almost similar to another creative that we know that created his story with his kids, right? So it was like brainstorming with the kids, and they're like, the dad come up with this concept, and
Yeah.
bam, there it goes. COVID sparked a lot of comic book creators,
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
gave birth to a lot of people who
Did a
always
lot.
wanted to create a comic book, and they just, COVID just like bang.
Well, now we had the time.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Now everybody just had the time. You were home. I mean, what else were you gonna do? You know?
yeah.
So yeah, no, it was definitely. And some people, and listen, I remember we were doing the show during the pandemic. They were just, it was the thing, right? It was like people were making money. They were making money hand over fist on Kickstarter. But as soon as the convention started opening up, those Kickstarters started dying down a little bit because now people can just go to the show and pick up the book.
I mean, we had to go to Bucks County, PA, to go to a convention where we didn't have to wear masks.
At the time, yeah. Well, which one was that one?
That was ZoloCon.
Oh, ZoloCon.
Because in New York, there was all these restrictions in New Jersey, but we went to PA, they didn't have those restrictions, and so I was like, and it was a killer convention.
Yeah, ZoloCon was awesome, man. ZoloCon was awesome.
Do you think the cancel culture is helping or hindering comedians? I think because of Dave Chappelle, they've lost a lot of their um ammo, because he was the one who actually pioneered, you know, you can't cancel me, only I can cancel me mentality. And when he walked away from the $100 million deal, and he started just doing free shows at the park. He would just walk into the park, and next he has a crowd, and he's doing free shows. So he started that whole movement where, and I think people got tired of being so politically correct, or being so worrying about everything you say, and worrying about how someone's going to interpret it because of their own life experiences. I think he was the first one that gave courage to a lot of comedians. So I think it's a lot difficult now. I mean, so much so that Joe Rogan just released a Netflix, and he's getting heat for it. But Joe Rogan has so much weight and clout that, I mean,
But he's getting heat for it because it sucks, not because he's Joe
no,
Rogan.
he's getting heat for it because of the things that he said.
Yeah, no, but it's not good. He's not funny. He's not like Joe Rogan is a great podcaster and he's got a great podcast, but he's not a good comedian. I mean,
I've never been a fan of his comedy.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not, but he's
I'm
not.
a fan of his commentary on UFC. I was a
Mhm.
fan of of his hosting of Fear Factor. But
Yeah, no, and like I said, he's a great I mean, his
yeah,
podcasts go for 3 hours and people watch him, and he's made
he
a
was
good
good
a
on
career of
the
that.
news. What is it? The morning news or whatever, that TV series. He was good on that series. But as far as a comedian, his jokes don't resonate with me.
Well, that's
Uh,
what I'm saying. I think that's why he's get like to answer that. For me, in my opinion, yeah, cancel culture hinders comedians. I think comedians just can't allow that to happen. You know what I
it
mean?
hinders
Comedy's comedy.
it hinders new and up and coming comedians because they're going to taper themselves because they're too busy trying to get picked up. But I think, well, another, like for instance, Kevin Hart, right? He won't buck the system because he's paid by, he's sponsored by big corporations, whatever. So he's gonna walk a fine line, and he's not gonna cross that line. Dave Chappelle he's determining what happens. He's negotiating his own deals, so he can do whatever he wants, and he does it through storytelling and through logic, and almost like he's saying the things that people are thinking through storytelling and humor. But yeah, I think it's all depends on where you are in the business. If you're
No,
an
no, but
aspiring,
but I think no, but what I'm saying is what I think is yes, it does hinder comedy. Like if you can't laugh at yourself, if you're going to cancel somebody because they're being offensive or whatever it is, you wouldn't have the greats like like Eddie Murphy or or George Carl. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't have those guys because they were they were offensive. So if you cancel them, you do hinder comedy. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of silly to try to cancel somebody because they're being funny. A lot of people use it as a coping mechanism. Look at Eric, for example. He used it as a coping mechanism. I was a chubby kid. I made fun of myself. You know what I mean? Like that's what I did. I made a bully laugh so hard he forgot to beat me up. Like
Yeah,
that's a great line. You know what I
that's a
mean?
great
Like,
line.
and
Yeah,
that's what
right.
comedy is.
Which is, I think, but again, it's a lot of it's conditioning. But I think, you have an option. The great thing about freedom of choice is you have an option. You pay to listen, or you turn on the
That's
channel, or
it.
you don't turn on the channel.
That's it.
But why do you want to disrupt somebody's flow? I had that conversation with some creators at Bell County Comic Con, because there's a lot of opinions about what to do and how to promote and all this stuff. I said, yo, don't knock somebody else's hustle because you don't agree with their hustle. That's their hustle and that's what works for them. I said, find your lane and do your thing. I said, but you don't have to step on somebody else to make you feel better about your hustle. Right. It's like it's I think people were so caught up, and I think a lot of the cancellation has to do with people's own anxiety and insecurities. And you represent something that, success, and in their eyes, maybe they weren't as successful. There's always something deeply rooted that's triggering them to want to go after somebody else they don't even know. Right? Do you? Do you?
See, I think the only time that you should take a stand on, say, for example, comedy, for example, or being comedic is, for example, if you see somebody making fun of somebody and you see that it's bothering that other person,
Yeah,
I
it's
think at
bullying.
that
That's
point you
bullying.
say, yeah, at that point you say, yo, chill,
Yeah,
stop.
that's bullying.
That's not funny anymore. Like that's the only time. But to cancel somebody just because you're offended when the people that they're laughing about aren't, that's
Yeah,
stupid. That's
yeah.
stupid. That's stupid. You know?
And I think and don't go to a comedy show to attack the comedian because you don't agree. You went to the comedy show, bro. So it's like that's their form of creativity. There's an audience for everything, right? You
Oh
like, for
yeah.
instance, Joe Rogan has a huge fan base that loves his comedy.
Yeah.
I listen to his podcast because I think he's very intelligent. I think he does his homework. I think he's mindful, and he demonstrates empathy and logic, but the comedy never resonated with me, right? So I'm good with that. So I watched 5 minutes of a couple of his comedies. I was like, I can't do this. It's not for me, right?
No.
But I'll listen to his podcast all day,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
For sure.
So it's but I pick it, but I'm not gonna go and slam him saying you suck, man.
Nah.
No, I'm just gonna move on. It's like, you know what? I like your podcast. Great job.
But here's the thing: if you ask me, is it good? I got to be honest with you and tell you it's not. Like there's the difference between that. Like I'm not gonna offer that opinion just to bash the guy. No, but if you're telling me, hey, is it any good? Nah, it's not.
Well, you
I don't
just did
watch it.
earlier.
No, I know because
I didn't ask.
because you said that they were bashing him or whatever, and I'm saying they were bashing him because
They were
the
bashing
show
him
isn't
because of
good.
his Kamala jokes.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's got to be funny. Like
I didn't hear the joke. I don't
Dave
know.
Chappelle's funny. Like he's funny and he's
Right.
smart funny. He's
Well,
smart
what's
about his
one
comedy.
man's funny is another man's not funny, right? So it
Yeah, no,
depends.
it's definitely a subjective, but the greats are able to somehow find a way to make it so that everybody laughs. That's what people who are good at that stuff
No,
do.
if you watch Chappelle and there's and you see his shows are packed, and when they pan the crowd, you'll see the people who that joke did not align with them, right?
Mhm.
You'll see that there's going to be people in the audience that are going to laugh at the joke, but there's some people like, oh, that one didn't, I didn't like that one,
Right.
right? They're going to pick and
Right.
choose, right? So it all depends on what the punchline is and what the story is at the time. I just think don't disrupt somebody's ability to put food on their plate and take care of their family.
I'm gonna tell you this: me telling you on this podcast that Joe Rogan's comedy sucks is not taking any food off his table.
No,
Like
not you. I'm talking about cancel
no,
culture.
I'm just saying in
Yeah,
general. Like I just think that it also depends on who it's come from. Like what I when you were saying that, I think it was a New York Times that kind of bashed him. Right, the New York Times has a little more weight. People don't like to hate alone. Misery loves company. Lulu said that she has someone who's trying really hard to cancel her. What the hell's
what
going
is
on with
that
that?
about?
Yeah, what's that about? That's a negative part of cancel culture. It stifles all kinds of creativity, not just comedy. I
It
guess it makes
does.
you gun shy. It makes you gun shy. You're like, oh man, should I do that? Is that gonna hurt somebody?
Power corrupts, right? And what happens was cancel culture is a mob mentality. That's basically what it is, right? And so they felt powerful. They felt that they can go and they just can create the world that they want, right? It's like, I don't know. I just know what I see, right? So people get offended when you say hello, sir, but you don't know that that person is changing, right?
Mhm.
And now wants to be, I don't know anything about you. I just know what I see. I see masculinity, right? So I'm respectful. But you find offense and you want to attack me, it's not my fault because I don't know what's in your head. I don't know how you've defined yourself. No, so I think that's where it is. People are easily triggered, because they expect you to conform to their sense of reality. No, I respect whatever logic you have for yourself. I respect it, but don't encroach on my life because I have a different perspective. Let's just agree to disagree and part ways, and all good. So I think that's the hard part.
Yeah, they I think I heard somewhere, I read somewhere that that Disney just fired all their activist producers. They fired them. Like anybody who has like an activist mentality, they got rid of them. They don't want them there anymore.
That was like 2
Which,
years too late.
yeah, that you know what I mean?
How
Like,
many careers did they try to destroy? Gina
right.
Carano, all these things, whatever. Carano, how many Johnny Depp, right? Look at how many people they've hurt and impacted because they allowed it to happen. They even fired their chief ED&I officer, right? I think for me, it's just like, where did we go wrong? Where did we go wrong? What happened to just live and let live? Right? What happened to just say, hi, how are you? My name is, instead of, you need to call me by this. It's like, come on. Why
I
can't we just be
yeah.
cordial?
I think when it comes to like creating and stuff like that, I think that we got to get rid of the agendas. You know what I
Get
mean?
rid of
Like
the agenda.
I think back in the days, even like, yes, what we watched as kids, sometimes you look at that stuff today, you're like, wow, that was offensive. I can't believe that. But we didn't look at it that.
No.
It was a joke, whether it was a joke or whatever it was, and we knew how to handle that. You know what I mean? At the end of
Well,
the
it
day, it starts in the home, right? Like
starts in the home.
they're gonna say, hey, listen, that's wrong. This is right. Just wrong, right and wrong. I think that's all that needs to happen. What's right and what's wrong. This is why, me personally, I don't like when we try to humanize villains.
Yeah.
To me, the Joker is a psychopath. I don't
Yeah.
need to see him dancing and doing all this stuff and making him look more human. To me, no, I want the Joker who's just a villain. He's the bad guy. Batman's the good guy. I
Because they're
don't want that dual
normalizing violence.
and I hate that, bro.
That's
Like,
what they're doing. It's conditioning, right? To think it's okay. Because as long as you have a reason, you don't understand my backstory and what made me do this.
right.
No,
What
you
made me?
killed
I don't care. I
somebody.
don't care
You
what made you
killed
do it. Yeah, that's
somebody.
it.
You
Right.
know what I
Good.
mean?
And those are the
No.
stories we used to watch, right? Good versus evil. You know,
Yes.
that's all it was. And now it's different, man. People are being canceled for opinions from over a decade ago. Yeah, that's the other thing, dude. Like
That's, yeah,
you had an opinion 10 years ago, it's a wrap.
yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, you both, where we grow up. Where I grew up, it's so diverse. The high schools I went
Oh
to,
yeah,
the
dude.
elementary schools I went to, all I knew was diversity. We never talked race because all we saw was humans, right? We were all we loved each other. We played with each other, played sports. We competed against each other. There was none of this talk. And then all of a sudden, society, what's happening is just went left, and it's just like, what's going on? Where's
Yeah.
this coming from? It's not happening in the neighborhoods. It's happening at the top, and they're spewing it down to disrupt the neighborhoods, and people are getting caught up in this stuff. Just be human. Yo, dude, whatever you want to do with your life, do it as long as you're respecting somebody else's life. That's it.
Well, that's what it is, right? I think when it comes to real life and us, and yeah, there's gray. Oh, the grays. Get rid of grays. I have grays. What up, Johnny?
Hey, the Grays are
Um,
watching. I'm just saying.
so it's
They're in
fine. You
orbit.
know, we live in a world. If you have grays or whatever, right? But I think when it comes to storytelling, to me, I like stories that tell me, okay, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. Now you may say that's boring, bro. That's why Superman. That's what they try to make Superman this crazy. They did that dark Superman where he kills Zod. I'm like, but I still prefer 1978 Superman. Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
Like that's the Superman I prefer. And call me
You
old
know
fashioned,
why?
call me an old man.
You know
That's what I
why?
prefer,
It
dude.
was a love story. There was humanity in it. There was humility in it. There was humor. It was relatable. Some of the movies today are not relatable, right? You bought into the character. You had somebody who's trying to find his way, who is different from everybody else, right? And who's being vilified because he's different by some and praised by others, who's falling in love, right? And is afraid to reveal who he is. It's all those insecurities that we grew. It was so real to us growing
And,
up.
and for me, it's if you want depth, give it to the good guy, right? Like for me, give
Yes.
it as far as Lex Luthor went, He didn't care. He just wanted property. He had his agenda, and that was it. We didn't need
Power.
to know more about him. Yeah, he just wanted power. That's all and that's all we needed.
He didn't know that his
know people
grandmother
like,
didn't feed him. It's
yeah,
like, come
yeah.
on.
He's like, I know people are like, oh no, but that's he's not a three-dimensional character. I don't care, dude. Like that's what worked for me. That he
It's
wasn't
your hero that you want to know about.
my hero. I want him to be three-dimensional.
Yes.
Because I want to relate to him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, here's this kid who has all this ability, right? This man who has all this ability but can't show it.
Yes.
He's in school. He can't be part of the school because he can't try out for the football team because he'll kill somebody. He's too
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So he has to hide that and suppress that. So when he goes into Metropolis and becomes Superman, you see, and that's what Christopher Reeve was so good at. That quiet confidence that he
Yes.
had as Superman.
Yes.
He like the smirks, knowing that he was Superman.
One of the
You
best.
got me. Who's got you? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I was
Like,
about to say that. One of the best human relatable lines was "You got
Yes.
me, who's got you?"
Who's got
It
you?
resonated with everybody because we would ask the
Yes.
same thing.
Yes.
What's going on? How's this
Who's got me?
happening? Right?
Who's got you?
That's the best line in movie
Yo.
history, bro.
And his reaction to that line is
Yes.
the best.
Yes.
He just smiles at her like, "Don't worry about it." You know, like
Yes.
I got you. Like it's that quiet confidence. He wasn't cocky. It was
No.
that quiet confidence, and
Yes.
he was still like. And when she's interviewing him, and he's just looking at her, and he's flirting with her.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? The kid's got game.
Yes.
Kids today say Driz. I like when life is one way or the other, a life of absolutes. That's right, like a Sith. That's it.
Yes.
That's it, man. That's it. But yeah, we've
Yeah.
gone on a tangent.
Yeah, we got on that tangent. We had this bent up frustration. We had to get it out. This is therapy. This is therapy.
That was the end of set question, the cancel question. It was a wrap.
I know.
Yeah, Lou, he managed to play two guys with a pair of glasses.
With a pair
With
of
a
glasses.
pair of glasses and bad posture.
Yes.
That was it, bro.
Yes.
That was it.
Yes.
He takes off the glasses and he
And his hair.
straightens up.
And his
He's
hair.
Superman, bro.
He didn't have
And
the
he's
curl.
Superman. Yeah,
And then
right,
he had
right,
the
right.
curl. Yeah.
But I was just watching it when they're in that alley and she doesn't want to give up the purse and the
Mhm.
guy shoots him and he grabs the bullet and goes to the floor and he's like, I think I fainted. And she's like, you fainted? And he just look at the bullet in his thing, throws it away and goes over. Like he was just great.
Yes.
You don't get that. Like there will be no Superman like that. As much as people love Henry Cavill, like
Yeah.
he didn't have that. He
No.
did not have
You
that.
know what's funny that you say that? What he did for Superman, Robert Downey did for Iron Man.
It's
my
one of those
eyes.
things. It's one of those
Yes.
things. Yeah.
Robert
yeah.
Downey did for Iron Man. Robert Downey. Sorry, I started that. It's all right. My doctor said we got to talk about this stuff. So, you know what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It comes once in a decade or whatever that there's a
Mhm.
character that resonates with the audience. The only reason why everybody went batty with the announcement of Robert Downey playing Doctor Doom because they fell in love with him
Mhm.
because they know that he loves the characters that he embraces, right? So they know that he's going to put in the work. They know that he's going to want to
Yes.
entertain the audience.
That's
So
it.
they trust him, right? When the audience trusts you as an actor, you're golden, bro. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the other actor that's like that is Hugh Jackman as
Yes,
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
That's the other guy. That's
Right.
Hey,
Think about it. In
Did
the
you watch the
beginning,
movie or no? Did you watch the movie?
I haven't seen it. I'm going to see
No.
it this Saturday.
So, I mean, you seen the trailer of? Have you seen your trailers?
I don't look at. Yeah, I did see the trailer.
Okay. But did you see the one where he's sitting talking to this little girl or the one of the girls by the thing, and she's like, she goes, you were. He goes, I'm the wrong guy. She's like, you were always the wrong guy until you weren't. And that line, I think, it's not just for Wolverine. It's for Hugh Jackman. He was remember when he first got cast?
We all thought he was the wrong guy.
He was like, yo, he's the wrong guy.
He's too tall, he's too
What are
skinny.
we doing?
Yes,
That's not
yes,
Wolverine.
yes.
So he was the wrong guy until he wasn't.
Yes.
And now we can't imagine another one. Like
Yes.
who's gonna do this?
Yeah.
Who's gonna do that? Who's gonna take the mantle? You know.
Yeah.
But there are certain like actors or actresses who embody that character. You can't see them outside. There's nobody else. And
Yeah.
for me, that's Superman, and they still can't find him. Like this kid's coming up now. Whoever James Gunn is doing a new Superman. I don't know how that's gonna go. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I don't know how that's gonna go. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's and that's the magic of movie making. And then when it's that once in a lifetime when you find that one Easter egg, right? You find that one actor that that's going to go and take you on an adventure, right? And when they captivate the audience will follow you to the end of the globe, right? And it's just I don't know. We gotten so complicated, and I think we
I
got to go back
know,
to the
man.
art of storytelling.
Simplify it, bro.
Yes, I mean, I think everybody went left. Disney went left with all their movies.
Mhm.
Come on, man, go back to just telling stories. Stop trying to be politically
The,
correct.
yeah,
It's
the
like
thing.
just tell stories.
Absolutely, man. So, Johnny says, "Is Tony Stark's playing Doom even in the comic?" I don't know because I don't really follow the comic. But I think that if he does come back, I mean, he is coming back.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. To me, I think he's got to play Victor Von Doom. Like, I don't think he should be a variant or whatever. I wanted to see them go back with Ray Scott to see how that would have been. Wait, which one's that? 5 years ago. To Ray Scott. You
Give
know?
us some context.
Yeah,
You're too smart for us.
I'm like, wait a minute,
Yeah,
dude.
you're too smart for us. Give us some
But
context.
I think he should come back.
Wolverine. Ah,
Okay. I wanted to see them back with to see how that would have been. Yeah, I don't know, man.
yeah,
Yeah, because
no.
I think he was supposed to play
I'm
him,
glad
right?
that Hugh Jackman came back. It's but even like Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool, man. He is Deadpool.
He
You
is
know what I
Deadpool.
mean? I can't see anybody else doing
That
Deadpool.
dude is Deadpool.
He campaigned
He's
for
having too
Deadpool
much
for
fun.
years. Yes.
He's
You
having
know what
too
I'm
much
saying?
fun, bro. Yeah,
Yes.
he loves it.
Original choice
He loves
before
it.
the Jackman. It's funny because I think we
Yeah,
all did
that's
it
right.
until we saw X-Men in the theaters, and I was like, "Oh man, Jackman is probably is legit.
He's
He's
legit.
Wolverine." I was like, "Man, this is awesome."
But still, these guys, it takes great actors to play these characters, dude. You
Yes.
can't have B level actors. Like Robert Downey Jr. is a great actor. Christopher
All right.
Reeves was a great actor. Like Hugh
Yeah.
Jackman is a great. These are great actors. Like these
Yeah.
aren't just like just be. They're all right. Because when you try to put somebody like that in tights, and they look goofy. They just it
Yeah.
doesn't work. It doesn't work. Blade.
Yes.
That's another
I
one.
know.
You know what I
I know.
mean?
I know. He has a cameo. I got caught out there.
No, no,
I got
no.
the spoiler.
Oh yeah,
But
you know that. No,
but Wesley Snipes is Blade.
but Wesley Snipes is Blade, bro. Like that's
Yes.
Blade. I mean, I know they're trying to do it again, but that's Blade. A little curious over what Radcliffe would be. Oh yeah, who was he? Radcliffe was going to play somebody else. He was going to play who? Was he also going to play Wolverine? Got to walk Deja Dog of Mars. Deja Dog of Mars. Peace. Lose out. Yeah, we got up almost an hour and a half, bro. Anyway, so
My thing is
Sammy.
freezing.
Yeah,
My thing is
it's
freezing. I
over.
can't move anything right now.
It's over.
Okay, there
It's
it is.
over. It's over. It's over. We gotta go.
Yeah,
That means we
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
go. The system is
No,
ready to
no.
rock.
But yeah. Blade. Wesley Snipes is Blade. Keanu Reeves
Keanu Reeves.
he's
Oh,
everybody.
Neo from the
He's
Matrix.
Neo.
John Wick.
John Wick. He's everybody, bro. He's Speed. He's what is it? What is it? The two guys.
Bill and Ted's Excellent
Bill and
Adventure.
Ted. He's everybody. He's everything to
Yeah,
everybody, bro.
it's so funny. I didn't like Christopher Reeve. I didn't like Keanu Reeves in the Matrix, but I loved him in John Wick, bro. Like
Really?
John
I
Wick.
loved him in
Yeah,
The
I don't know.
Matrix.
I don't know what the hell it was. I was so on me.
I
But
didn't like Tom Hanks in the Da Vinci Code.
no, that was
He was
bad
wrong
movie.
for that. He was just absolutely wrong for that.
Because
But
that book was so good, bro.
yeah, I know. It was like but though, I mean, the future looks bright for comic book movies. I think they're going back to telling. I mean, look at what Deadpool what it did. They really and like a lot kudos to Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
Honest. That's an
You know what I'm
honest
saying?
movie.
And with
You gotta
the
like it. You gotta enjoy
cameos
it.
and all that stuff that they're doing, they're getting people excited again. You want
Yeah.
them, but you want them to go back to the comic stores, right? So how do you get them back into the stores? I think we were at a convention. I mean, at the convention, and the kids didn't even know who half the characters we were talking about were. I was talking to with the father, and the kids were like 17, 18, and they didn't know half the characters we were talking about. So they haven't even been to comic. So it's like, how do we get the kids today to embrace comics? It's like before, I don't know. We need movies to somehow drive sales to the stores.
Need something.
Yeah.
Need something.
But yeah, it was a good show, man. It was a
Yeah,
really
good
good show
stuff.
today. Thank
Good
you
stuff
everybody
today.
for coming out. Happy birthday to Hugo. Shout out to End of
Hugo.
Zed. Your artwork is fantastic.
Same.
Thank you to our guest, Eric Da Silva, doing his thing.
That's Hellboy.
Oh, he is Hellboy. They screwed up when they changed it. I was like, come on, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls.
Sure.
Right? It's just like Michael Keaton is Batman. I was like, come on. It's like, come on. It's like he is Batman. It's like, come on. It's like there's some people that just connect. It's like it was fun. That's when Batman was Batman. Then it just became this dark vigilante killer. And I'm like, where was the fun, right? It was like, come on. You had Danny DeVito as the Penguin. It was just like
fantastic.
That was awesome, bro.
Or Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman.
Oh, she was the best Catwoman. Then they bring in Halle Berry with pumps. Open-toed pumps. You can't be the Catwoman climbing the side of buildings with open-toed pumps. Get out of here with that, man. I was like, come on.
No bueno, bro.
Oof, my heart can't take this anymore. But anyway, it's crazy. But shout out to everybody who's been watching the show.
Yes.
We appreciate every one of you. Hey, if you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe, share it with a friend. When we grow, the independent community grows. We are the originators. We are the OGs. We started this show in 2005, and we did it because we want to spotlight the unsung heroes, the independent creator that's out there striving to do their things, like Eric Da Silva, who's hustling out there, making magic happen. So help us. Let's make magic together. Let's grow together, and let's do another 500 shows. That's his 556 episode. So let's do another 500 shows together. We appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to all of you, and shout out to George. You're going to be where this weekend?
Wicked Comic-Con in Boston. So if you're in Boston, come check me out. Table 46 in the Galleria. So come check me out.
Yeah, excited. 8/27.
Yeah, Casey, you'll be on the 27th. Oh
yeah, man. Yeah, and then I will be September and October. I'm going to be at Denton Comic Art Expo, Cowtown Comic-Con, and then College Station. I'm coming back for you guys. I got some really good supporters out there, so I'm looking forward to connecting with all of you guys back then. But with that said, I'm Sid, the crazy man, Vera.
Towards the dream of my day now.
And we are out.
It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy.
Acquiesce.
No, it's about my friend Acquiesce. Say my name, right? This is what you were thinking? Oh, my. He described me. He said, I'm the
What? Catch the craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Candy girl.